it is actually a biblical part of the biblical prophecy that people eventually will be killed and sometimes beheaded for refusal to take this mark. And as I know, yeah, that does sound like really crazy, and really scary. But I guess what gets me is I don't understand really from a secular standpoint, without being influenced at all by these biblical prophecies. I don't see how you could make any sense out of these very real things that you're describing. I mean, you're talking, it's true, the FEMA camp things that Alex Jones was warning us about, over a decade ago. Like you said, we're seeing that now. We're seeing the COVID camps. We're seeing, the big stacks of the coffins. We see all types of evidence that there seems to be some type of globalist agenda underway to depopulate humanity, and to hurt us, and to demoralize us, and to indoctrinate our kids with evil stuff, and sexualize our kids with, and to push all this porn and violence, and to kind of create a really dark and terrible and sinful reality for everybody. You don't have to be a Christian to accept that that's happening. I mean, it's really kind of the format of your show, and a lot of times is you're pointing out these agendas and what's happening, what's being imposed on humanity right now. Well, for me as a Christian, it makes perfect sense. I don't have to wonder why they would do this. I mean, for me, the Bible tells me that this world is fallen into sin. Hence the name Fallen World Films. And that as of right now, Satan is the devil is the king of this world. God is the supreme commander, the sovereign God, the creator of even the devil. But right now we're kind of in the devil's playground. And it makes sense to me that the powers that be would represent a satanic force that seeks to destroy humanity. It makes sense to me that they would want to abort the babies and sacrifice the kids, and that they would want to, pervert the men and to, sell all the women into prostitution on a social scale. It makes sense to me, like, the whole New World Order agenda only, to me, makes sense from the mind frame that these people hate humanity. And the only thing that makes sense to me of why someone would hate humanity would be the same reason that Lucifer hates humanity. And that's because he desires to be God. And man was made in the image of God, and God loves man. And therefore the devil hates me and you because we're men. And the king that these people serve wants them to destroy us, and that's what they're doing.
Well, doesn't the Old Testament in Genesis 3:22 enable us to be as if we're God, though? It says that now they can be as if they are God through education and everything else that's like right there in Genesis. So aren't we just, doing what we were supposed to do anyways because we had the knowledge in the Garden in Eden? Since we ate it, we can now, too, be as if we're gods. There's just different interpretations. I'm just saying
that would be a really semantical, approach to that verse, just because, I mean, when you're getting into the language, and the transcription of these things, that would be in conflict to the entire Bible, which states that, there is only one God, like there is no God before him. Man is definitely not God. In fact, man's biggest sin is to have other gods before the real God, biblically speaking. And so, there is absolutely no biblical foundation for the idea that man can be God. However, apart from the lie that was originally told to man, by Lucifer, that was the original lie. That's the lie that we're still buying into today. That's the Bill Gates. That's everything you were just describing, this idea that we can be God. And so now, thanks to that, instead of eating the corn that God created for us, that was designed to nourish our bodies and taste delicious, and the strawberries and all this and that, now we're putting out Terminator seeds, and destroying all the crops and coming up with man-made versions of food in these laboratories that are only killing people. And it's like, I mean, every agenda that's involved in this global conspiracy is related to man trying to play God, in my opinion.